Just give me a second. I just sent here, but probably I won't follow the questions because it's just us. So I will start with one of them, but when it's one-on-one conversation, I think it's easier to get a freestyle way. So let's go.
Yes, I
Uh,
agree.
yeah, it's a more actually it's not more near, it's a real conversation, not uh like in a class how people think it is sometimes. And as I always said, I bring the questions thinking about things that I'm passing on my mind, that I'm living, that I see people discussing or saying about. And I do not remember where I saw it, but and besides living like this, and I think that everybody lives, but also on the last meeting we talked in some points that I think it's connected to that, that we are living in fast style, and everything is for yesterday. And we have to adapt to that. And I think that the first thing that I would like to know about you, and I will say about me too, how do you manage your daily routine when you live in a constant hurry? If do you live like this nowadays?
Yes, I live like this nowadays. I think this is a current topic, a really trend topic that reflect our society modes operandi of the society, maybe because it's a way that the capitalism maybe put to us to always produce something, always work, our do and give our best in everything sometimes. And maybe this merge with the technological thing that we are living also. So maybe these two things together make us feel more hurry, more maybe in lack with ourselves or with the community. I don't know. But how I manage,
I don't.
I try to organize myself and to separate time to take care of me, like go to the gym, to eat well, to have therapy because it's necessary, I guess, and to work, but to have a fun moment, a chill moment also. I try to organize these things. And you, Wellington, what do you do to manage this?
Yeah, sometimes I do nothing. Just kidding. But sometimes it's a completely mess. People used to link these to my sign that I'm Libra. I don't know how do I say this in English. I think it's Libra. And have this balance or not balance, but in the same time that I like things organized, I don't like to know what I am supposed to do, what the time that I will wake up, I like to live the life on how the way it goes. But as an adult, it's not so easy and not so possible. I cannot wake up at the time that my body wants, I have a limit time to wake up. But um, there is times and times I like to put like main stuffs that I have to do on my week or month or the day, like pointed on my mind on a WhatsApp or write it to not forget those main things. In the others, I know that I have to do, and I manage during the times to do the things, to not pressure myself, because as you said, I think that on society that we live nowadays, connected, receiving a lot of information, we feel like we need to be like productive. We need to do everything. We put a lot of pressure into ourselves, and it's tough. It's hard, and it's something funny if we think that our parents in our ages wasn't living just like us nowadays, and they have like more, it's like uh maybe kind of material stuffs like a house, a car, things like this, a job, a formal job normally. And it's something that not with me, and I don't think it's the same for you, that you say that working on project, but we see a lot of people that doesn't have these structures nowadays, and you feel yourself pressured to keep just like this, so you have to think on the things that you have to do now, and also in the future that yet uh, doesn't happen. So I try to just live, do my best, focus one thing by time, and to not freak out. I think just like this.
Yes, I agree with you. And it seems that they are putting our bags the same things that we should have. Like I'm going to make 28 year in this July. And my mom talked to me today, and she said to me that I had to have something, some material things, family, things like that, until I have 30 years. So I have a time to do this, to achieve this whole thing that she achieved at her age. But the time is different, the economy is different, the job, the job structure is different, everything is different from that time, I guess. But it's funny to see this difference between our generation and my mom's generation, our parents' generation.
Yeah, totally. And how do you uh actually, let me think again about the questions, about the question. When do you realize it that you were living in a hurry? The first time that you remember that your life, it was like chaotic and fast, and things were like almost hitting you like a car.
I think now, because I had some deadlines, follow deadlines. I had one deadline one day, like Monday, and another until Friday, So I had a short time to finish some deadlines. And I feel that I was jumping from one deadline to another deadline, like I am a rabbit running after carrots, something really bad. I feel like this, and I will do this until, I don't know, the end of this month maybe, and then I will have a break, a real break, because it's a lot. But it's now, I guess.
Yeah.
And to you, do you remember some moment?
Yeah, I think to me it was when I was doing my high school, because I did a technician course together in Cefet. So it was like a completely mess. I was a normal student until 1 year ago that like the teachers used to treat us like children's, I think. Like our parents do it to us. They like demand from you. They keep closer. They don't say with literal words, or I think that the environment of the regular school doesn't gives you the sensation of you are responsible for your choices and you will deal with the consequences. But when I was there studying in the high school, I was not ordered to stay at the room to study. I could just walk around at the school, could get in and get out anytime that I wanted. Mm, I have the flexibility to use almost any clothes that I want to use it. And if I didn't study, didn't put effort on it, I would have bad grades and had to repeat the year. And if this happened like twice, you get expulses. So you feel like you are totally responsible for yourself. And I have like uh, 14 to 17 different subjects. It was the normal ones that we have to study, plus the technical ones. So it was really hard to a teenager to deal with that and passes all the day in the place like studying. The place that I study, it was my first house. My house, it was my second house. I just went to my house to sleep. It was something like this. So since then, oh my gosh, it was really, really, really crazy. And I remember the first semester on the university, I was just having like just studying my subjects at the university. And I had classes from 7 to midday. And then I was free for the entire day. It was, oh my gosh, I felt like I don't have nothing to do. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I am like, I forgot how do I say tedio, but I was feeling like apathic, feeling like something's missing on my life because I finished, I had my lunch, I used to went to the library to study, and then I went back to my house in a time that the bus was like, okay, till you will get seat. And I have the entire time from the end of the afternoon to the night to watch my series, movies, read a book. And it was, my gosh, I am so free now that I wasn't like more adapted to that. I was before used to live in a hurry, a lot of things to do, a lot of work that you need to like draw a lot and do a lot of things. And then I felt like the first semester on the university, it was like living on Alice's country or Alice's world, because it was really easy to deal because I was really use it with pressure and deal with myself. And I think when people get on the university, they went crazy and normally lost, have bad grades because they want to live this freedom and go to parties and don't have the sense that they are totally responsible for the attitudes. If they do something or not do, they will deal with that. I think that that time it was a hurry, and I learned that all my decisions have consequences, and I have to manage them. I don't know if you felt this when you get in the university, or if you have done also a technical course like this.
No, I didn't a technical course. I received a scholarship in yeah, a full scholarship in a particular institution to do my high school. And well, since then, my profession is to study. You know, my mom always said this to me, you don't have to work, you just have to study. I had the opportunity to do this, you know. My mom gave to me all the structure that I needed to do this, to have the education as my job. So I don't know. I always had this pressure, you know, to be the best, to do my
Yeah,
best, to go after the things, to get into a public university, and then to follow the academical rule. So always education, even in the superior, in the university, actually, I faced it as a job. I got some bad grades, but it was because the change, I guess. But yeah, I like to do this until today.
yeah. And I think at this time it's really difficult to sleep, and now to you must be worst. But how these kind of lifestyles um, interface in your sleeping routine? Are you able to deal with that? Do you sleep less? Do you like use sleeping as a escaping room? Or do you like curse yourself when you take a time to rest as you shouldn't be doing this? I'm saying those kind of things because I feel like this sometimes.
Doing therapy, I guess, I figure out that I need to take rest and I need to sleep well, because if I don't, I won't be able to finish my job, to finish my tasks, you know. So I started to pay more attention on this, to schedule, to put on my agenda a free time to do nothing, to see my parents, to make calls to my parents or see friends, because this kind of thing we charge us to do the other things, to do our jobs, I guess. So I try to schedule this, to schedule free time. Look at this
It's crazy.
generation. And I try to be rigid on my time to sleep. I try to go to the bed 10 o'clock, 10 and 10 at maximum, and I try to sleep 7 or 8 hours. On Sundays, I sleep without alarm. I just sleep
Yeah,
and be
Sundays are
happy.
allowed.
Yeah, but in the other days, I try to sleep 7 or 8 hours, and I take a power nap during the afternoon. I have this privilege to go to my bed, sleep for
This is really
30
good.
minutes, 30, 45 minutes, and get up, take a coffee, and go to the second round at the job, you know. So I try to do this.
Yeah. And I am a really mess with my sleeping. My body needs to rest a lot. I need to sleep a lot. If I had time, and it's crazy, if I sleep like 6 hours, I'm okay with this. If I sleep like at 11 and wake up at 5. And when I am doing exercises, eating well, my body works a lot, and I keep myself okay with this. But at the other side, sometimes I need to sleep like 9 hours per day to be okay. I need to like sleep at 10 and wake up at 7. But I'm really bad with that. And I am a really night person. So my brain's like just poof when it's night. And I think that I have to do these stuffs. And I go to bed really late. And I feel like I should wake up early. And I put my alarm to wake up early, but I am not able. So I keep delaying. And I wake up late. So I should just prepare myself to wake up late. But I tried to do that when I was working home office. I used to took like 20 minutes from my lunchtime to sleep, to take a rest, to um, like have energy to do these stuffs. And it worked a lot to me. Nowadays, it's not possible to do this. And I feel so much because my body really needs to sleep a lot. I don't know why. I consume maybe a lot of energy, and resting it's the better way. And I try to not do anything during the weekends. I just have to work from Monday to Friday, so it's easier to you have your routine, your days like free when it's that. I cannot even imagine working like 6 times that week. I don't know how people, live like this. It's crazy. And I am so used to that. Oh my gosh, this week it will be like 10 years that I work. My gosh, I'm becoming old, but I still young, yeah. It's because I start to working formally really young at 19. So it's been 10 years that I'm working. And I think that I organized myself too during the weekends, not do anything, not pressure myself, of thinking of the time of waking up and things like this. And during the week, I do not set a free time to things, but I try to do an exercise or watching something that I like, to like take give a rest to my mind and my body to just do nothing. Sometimes I keep scrolling on Instagram, but it's bad. But I think watching sitcoms, the comfort series that we have, comfort movies, it's something really good. Or listening to podcasts, it's something that I also like it. It's a shame that I don't. I am not the person that used to repeat the things that I watch, except some stuffs. But if I have a comfort series that I could rewatch it, would be awesome. So I keep looking for different ones to do that, because I think it's really good to give ourselves a break, and you just don't have to think about anything, and your body just get slowly and calm, and you can like sleep well without any noise and thinking about the rest of the things that you have to do on the next day. I don't know if you feel like that too, that when you are going to sleep you think about, oh, on my next day I have to do this, and you start thinking and overthinking, and then you just lost your oh my gosh, sono, forgot. But you got me. I don't know if you feel like that too.
Yes, I feel like that. I have to take medicine to sleep actually, because without this, I started to think about the life or things that I have to do, and I don't get to sleep. So I wake up, I stand up and go to do another thing, like you work or I don't know, clean the house. So I have to take this take this medicine to sleep well. And it's working, I guess. And what I see is that me and you and I are very different, but we function well, you know, we do the things. You are working there 10 years. It's a lot. Congrats
Yeah,
about that. And it's nice to see different people that are living in different ways, I guess.
yeah. I hope one day I can like retire, just like Maisa that start to work with 3 years. I work early, not so early as her, but it's been 10 years. So I hope the next is like 4 years will be enough to I be retired. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's as you said, it's things that people that have different lifestyles and the different stuffs have in common. Uh, and it's something funny. Sometimes we think that just ourselves are passing for some kind of situations, but we have a lot of people that are living just like this. And when you talk to the person, you realize it's not just with me, you know, the other person are living with this too. It's kind of funny. And it's something reliable for ourselves too. I feel more comfortable when I see that I'm not the only one. And meanwhile, because we see a lot of on social media, people that have a lifestyles that they are able to do a lot of things and they sleep like 5 hours, wake up early and run. Nowadays the trend is running, and they read a book and they do the breakfast, and it's a breakfast with fruit, with without coffee, and have, I don't know how to say, tapioca, and they prepare the lunch and have snacks to the rest of the day, and they work, they study, they have a second work, and they have a relationship, they talk to the friend, they investing, and you see, oh my gosh, how is this person able to do all those things, and you keep comparing yourself to them, and you feel like the hurry because of them. Uh, um, I some days ago I decided to stop following if I had some of those kind of people on my Instagram. For God's sake, I don't have anyone. I just see an Explorer, but it's really bad.
Yes, I agree with you. But sometimes I think that they do all this and they record all this. Maybe I think that they are just selling a lifestyle, you know. Maybe they even don't follow that lifestyle on with constancy every day. They just record and sell this lifestyle sometimes. Influencers about fitness, I don't think so because they show their
Yeah.
results. They really work on it, I guess. But the other ones, I don't know. The other influencers, it's difficult.
I think that there are also some stuffs like they have support. They don't have to clean their houses. Sometimes they don't have to prepare the food because they have someone working from them. So you have more time when you have to do that. I'm a lazy person, for example, to cleaning or preparing something. And I don't know why. I do as faster as I can, but I take too much time. So, like to do a breakfast in the morning, I would take like 30 minutes. And if you have this ready, you have 30 minutes to eat. You have more 30 minutes in your day. If you don't have to clean the house, you have like 1 or 2 hours more in your week. So I think that the support that they have helps a lot to they be able to do this kind of things. And, you know, uh, as you say, they are selling this. It's like a work. They have this obligation to do this, you know. They have one, oh my gosh, it's not effort. Um, yeah, it's kind of a motivation that engages them to do those kinds of things. But and I saw here the question number 7. And we were saying about a lot of things that we have to do, and sometimes it's not possible. What do you do when you have to choose about the things that you have to do? And how do you deal with that? How do you prioritize it? How do you prioritize the things that you have to do?
I think that I had one of these moments weeks ago, um, and I was without energy, you know. I had dengue, and one week
Oh my
after I had to work. And well, it wasn't my best week, but I had a deadline. I had a work to do and to deliver. So I cut everything. I cut the gym. I cut the food that I prepared. I asked for delivery in that week. I didn't clean my house. It was a total messy. I just leave it to do that task and take rest and sleep. I didn't came to talk. I didn't several things, I guess. So I function in the economy energy mood, maybe. I just save all my energy to do one thing that I know that is really important, and the rest I deal after. I deal in another moment. I clean my house in the, I don't know, Sunday. And yeah, I function like this. And you, Wellington?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. First, I get uh like anxious thinking about how can I handle to all those things. And you know, the feeling that I don't know from where can I start from with this. And I take a lot of time just thinking on suppositions, situations that can happen if I do it or the other thing, what can happen if I do none of the things. And like deep inside of me, I know what I have to do first, what is more necessary, but normally it's the most difficult stuff to do. So I say this a lot to my therapist, you know. I say this in a with a really big frequency. They he must like think about, oh my gosh, this guy, he says about procrastinating, but he keep procrastinating. But I have total idea that I do that. So to me, this is a good step. I know when I am procrastinating, I know how I deal with that, and I know how to solve. But it's difficult to do, you know? In theory, it's easy. Put in practical, it's hard. But one of the characteristics of someone like this is that you push yourself when you feel that things will get wrong, you know, and you will have some consequences. So you just run to do the things. So my brain works faster, and I used to solve the things and do the things faster than the usual.
Under pressure. You work under pressure.
Yeah,
Is that okay? I
totally.
see. I see. My
And then
anxiety function in another way. I have to plan myself to live without anxiety. You know, if I delay, I can't.
Yeah, I had some years ago, like a well-organized life with everything planned in each time, but because I was working, studying, going to the gym, going out with my friends, so I have just the certain time to do everything. So I was following the plan. But I feel like when you have more free time, we delayed more because we feel like I can do this later. But when the later came, it's crazy. I don't recommend this to anyone that are watching us on YouTube. Please, guys, don't do that. But I really work well under pressure, and I am able to do with everything. I think that the day that I suffer the consequences of it, maybe I can change. But until now, I didn't.
But are you a multitask person, or you just delay one task or several tasks, you know?
I delayed several tasks. I used to be a multitask person. I think that I still being one, but I don't know, after pandemic, I don't know if because I got COVID or after pandemic or mind gets crazy. Uh, I'm not so multifunctional as I used to be. I don't know if you are a multifunctional person and you feel like you are losing your ability or you are learning this, but I think that I used to be a person like this, but I am not anymore. If, for example, if I'm talking, I can talk about several topics, and if the person came back with the topic that we started, I will remember and we can keep going. It's the same with the things that I'm doing. I will do a lot of things at the time, but at this point, it's me and my tasks. So I need to remember the task that I was starting to went back there. It's not like a conversation that you have the other that can remember those things to you. So just trust on your mind is not too good. It was easy when I was a kid. I have a better memory. Now it's not so easy. So I try to take notes, but sometimes I forget to see my notes that I took. It's a mess, but it works in some way. It's not good to be a person that works under pressure. Yeah. And okay, here I saw the last question, number 10. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling to cope with a fast-paced lifestyle? I would say the first thing, don't do it like me. Don't delay the stuffs. Do like young cut plan the stuffs. It's better. Don't try to be multitask. I think it works when you are doing simple stuffs. You can be multitask, like when you are cleaning the house. You can like wash the clothes on the wash machine while you are like washing the dishes. You can do those things at the same time because they are simple. But at work, it's not a good stuff to do. I think you have to concentrate it. You need to remember that you have to take breaks because it's really important in everything. You need to take breaks, to take a rest, to give your brain and your body time to like recover, to you keep doing your best. I think that it was something that you say in the beginning. We are in different generations. We are in a generation now that exists demands more from productive to we produce more, but we have more tools than before, and we can be as productive as before, but with less time. And we are seeing other countries that are reducing the work time and are having more productive and seeing the benefits of it, because we balance better our life with work. And when our mind is better, our body keeps better too, and we can give more from ourselves. You can concentrate it more on the work that you have to do, because you don't have to worry about the time that do your stuffs, because you have time enough to do your own stuffs. I think that nowadays, when we are like working or doing another stuffs, we think about, am I have enough time to do the other stuff that I have to do? And you cannot concentrate in what you have to do. But when you don't have this pressure, you can get yourself really deep into the task that you have to do, and you produce better. Then you don't have like this time. But I don't know if the people that have the means of production on capitalism realize it, that we are humans, and humans need a break, need a rest. I don't know
Yeah.
how is this on academic ways. You that
Like in the
lives in a different.
academia, we have the academic capitalism that make you to produce articles and produce and always produce, and your curriculum isn't enough, never, isn't enough. You have to work on it to make a better curriculum and things like that. But I was thinking in another thing that you said before. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Oh my God, sorry. I totally forgot. What you said? Uh,
About being more choosing the things to do, like multitasking.
yeah, it's about the question number 10. It's right?
What advice would you give to someone who is struggling to cope with
Yeah, sorry.
fast-paced lifestyle?
Now I remembered. Yeah. Maybe respect yourself because we are different. We saw this in this conversation, and
Yeah,
several types of ways to deal with this fast period can work, I guess. So it's respect yourself. Maybe another one, if you can, take care of your alimentation or your body and things like that, because as you said, we are living in this capitalist mode, and sometimes we forgot about our bodies, Without our bodies, we can't produce in the capitalism mode. So we have to pay attention, and it's not just to produce, but to live in a decent way and produce the enough. Maybe sometimes I think that we have to broke everything and to change everything and to make some transformation, like in the labor thing that we are talking about. But it's difficult, I guess, to change this. Maybe in Brazil we can implementate this kind of labor routine with 4 times working.
yeah,
Is that, yeah, it will be really nice and really decent, I guess. But talking about Brazil, I don't know.
yeah. And
Um,
the sorry, keep going.
Please go on.
Uh, I was saying that we also like reducing the time of working. It's a way that you make capitalism improve itself, because capitalism capitalism survives with consumption, and not of goods but also services, and it's necessary to people have time to consume services and goods, because if they have a lot of time working, they won't have free time to do that. And thinking about society itself, uh, you will have the need of more employees, so you decrease the number of unemployed people. This is
Okay.
some way bad, and work with financial. I know that it's bad thinking on the perspective of people that are hiring, because with more offers, the price is high, but you can have a balance of it and be profitable, even though this happens, you can applies more intelligence, more planning. You evolve better when you have this, Always it's the same on academy. When we have a problem, we look for a way to solve. So we makes things better. It's just like this that technology evolves. So if you have difficult to like uh, being profitable, you will find a way to do this better, change your process without like having to pay less to people, You can find ways to give more value to your product, to what you produce, or apply some technology that makes it better.
Mhm.
And I think that people, I don't know, they are not mature enough. They haven't studied enough the entrepreneurs that we have, I don't know, they are not so well experienced, or maybe they don't. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in Brazil that like Brazil doesn't help also, but the life, oh my gosh, the life time of a company, it's like 1.5 years, I think, in Brazil. And it's most of the part because people are unexperienced. They didn't plan. They don't have basis for that. So I think that we still having the mind of the beginning of 20th century, about work. And we do not update ourselves on
Because,
how things works nowadays.
okay, I see. But do you mean in the communication or technological area? Because at the same time, we are having a more education, a population with more education, you know?
Yeah, but I think these do not translate in something meaningful on Brazil, I was listening to a podcast today, Café da Manhã, and it was really about this, that we are forming a lot of people, and most of the people with high education, with a high degree, are not working in a job that are compatible with their formation, and we are allocating like people in wrong things. We are not producing people in what we need as society, or we are not knowing how to deal with that, like,
To match the education system with the labor market system, maybe.
yeah, or just trying to like adapt to the reality, uh, giving opportunity to those kind of people. I don't know. You could have something like this, but I think it's difficult. But we are forming more people like this, but it's not so related with our needs, or we still like immature to deal with that,
Yeah, but at the same time, as you said, one sector that is rising is the informal sector first, and the
Yeah.
service sector, I guess. And I don't know. It's uh, the informal sector and the informal sector and the service sector usually have less, have it's a more precarious work, you know. So at the same time, we are having the rise in this kind of work, a precarization of the job and the relation between the work and the state, you know, workers with less rights, I guess. So I don't know. I agree with you that don't we aren't seeing a match between education and labor market, but at the same time, we are seeing this kind of work, this kind of job rising, I guess. That it's bad and it's a capitalist symptom, I guess. I don't know, just to
Yeah.
produce and to receive money under the population sufferment, I guess.
Yeah, and it's something that on my point of view, state should solve or give like support to make it better. For example, in services, we are a really big country that could receive more tourists that we have. And even the tourists that we receive, we don't have people qualified enough to receive. If someone comes here and it's something simple, like not too simple, but we are talking in English here, it's the most common language used in business relation. And when you are a tourist, if you go to another country, you can talk to any person in a country that they don't have English as their first language. And in Brazil, it's really difficult. If someone from outside comes here, they have difficult to do and things and communicate it because we don't have people talking in English, you know? And it's
Do you
something
think?
that
Hmm.
uh, we should invest. For example, I live in Rio de Janeiro and I'm from Salvador. Both of the city are really tourist city, receive a lot of tourists, but do not invest on this. And the, oh my gosh, how do I say prefeitura in English?
Let me see.
I forget. But they should invest on it.
City Hall, maybe.
Yeah. And I think what helps is the Brazilian way, you know, even though people don't talk English, they are really open to help people. So we try with a lot of effort to understand the other and to help them. And because of this, I think this balance, you know, the lack of the language, this gap that exists. But we could improve this, you know. Doesn't matter if I think actually we see some positions from services as inferior, and it shouldn't be. I think it's a problem in Brazil that the history, or all history create this, but it's really important. It's like medicine. We give a lot of value to medicine, to the doctors that take care of people, but someone's that attends you on restaurants, that cleans the streets, that cleans your house, the nurses, I
But
don't
you
know.
see, the value to the job, it's how much this job receive as money, you know?
Yeah,
So yeah, I think it's this way. If this job gave to you a high amount of money, it's a good job, a recognized job. But if you don't, it's like a precarious work or I don't know.
yeah. And we started talking about hurry, and we finished talking about precarization of work, and it's 10 p.m. Thanks, Bianca, for the conversation. It was really good. And
Thank
we
you
know
very
that
much.
living in a hurry uh, routine leads to a really bad work environment. And the precarization is that people from YouTube. And see ya, Bianca, next week. Have a good night. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
week.